Hey guys, in this video I'll talk about the Phase 5 BiS list, the Phase 5 Tier 2 BiS list, which is the BiS list you can have when you're wearing the full Tier 2 set, items to prioritize first in raids, and options you'll have in each item slot. Alright, so this is what I came up with when I was building the Phase 5 BiS list. Before I start, if you guys have any questions regarding anything I say here, feel free to reach me out in my Discord server or on Twitch. Alright, so let's get started. The head item you should already have. You get this from Nefarian. The amulet you get from the Twin Emperors. For the shoulder is the rank 10 shoulders for mages. For the back, it's a cloak that drops from Khotun. And by the way, I'll talk about all these items in details and about prioritization later in the video, so stick around. For the chest we have Robe of the Archmage, which makes a comeback because this was best in slot in Phase 3. For the bracers we have the Cenarian Circle Revered Bracers. For the weapon we have Sharpened Sileted Femur, which drops from Lord Visidus. For the offhand we have another item that drops from the Twin Emperors, Real Scepter of Veclor. The wand drops from Lord Kree, the glove and the waist, and Ring of the Fallen God, and the cloak, you can say. These 4 items drop from Khotun. So you have 4 items from Khotun. Leggings of the Festering Swarm. This drops from Battleguard Satura. And this is the rank 7 mage piece. And Ring of Chaos, this drops from AQ Trash Mobs, and these 2 trinkets you obviously get from BWL. Now let's talk about prioritization of items when you're coming out of Phase 4 and going into Phase 5. So this is the set we just made in this video. Let me explain the colors. White means you should already have it. Green means low priority. Yellow means medium priority, and orange and red means kinda high to high priority. You should already have the helm. The neck piece is Amulet of Vecni Lash, but if you see the DPS over here, the DPS here which says 821, you can see that if I go to Choker of the Fire Lord, the DPS only drops by 3, so this is a low priority item. For the shoulders we have the rank 10 shoulders, but if you want to change this to Mantle of the Blackwing Cabal, you better also change the feet to Enigma Boots, because know that you're going to be losing a set bonus, 23 spell power set bonus. And by the way, if you do change it, as you can still see the DPS is 821, if you do change it to Mantle of the Blackwing Cabal and the Enigma Boots, you only lose 1 DPS, so it's not that big of a difference. This would become medium priority then. Even if it's a 1 DPS difference, this is not BiS, so that's why I put those other items. And for chest, we use Robe of the Archmage because the only difference you get from the other option you have, Enigma Robes, is like 1 spell power difference and 20 spell penetration basically. And as you can see here, you don't lose any DPS, so you might as well get the thing you already have, which is Robe of the Archmage. And Rock-Free Bracers, I didn't put this as any priority because you get this from out of the raid. You can basically buy a reputation with gold and get this for gold if you want. Now let's get to the high priority items. The hands, Dark Storm Gauntlet. This is going to be best in slot in Phase 6 as well. Also the waist, also best in slot in Phase 6. So these 2 items should be high priority. Sad thing is both of these drop from Khotun. So right, for legs we have Leggings of the Festering Swarm. I put this in medium priority because the best thing we have right now is the Bloodvine leggings, and the Bloodvine set is only good if you're using the tree set bonus. So if you're going to be going out of the tree set bonus, you're going to be losing sorta a lot of DPS, so that's why I put this as medium priority. For other options you also have Leggings of the Black Blizzard. You do lose 3 DPS with the Leggings of the Black Blizzard, but you get this from AQ 20, so there is a chance that you can get this without spending DKP or without using one of your soft rests. Leggings of the Festering Swarm, as you see here, is still better. Feet I already explained. Finger, okay. Ring of the Fallen God, high priority because this item is just, I mean, if you look at it, it just speaks for itself. This is not best in slot in Phase 6, but even in Phase 6 you can like make this the last item you ever upgrade because the item is so good. You get this from the Eye of Khotun, which is a 100% drop chance, but the Eye of Khotun item is going to be best in slot for almost, I mean not almost, every class except rogues and DPS warriors. So That's why I put this on high priority. If you can get it first, that's going to be very helpful for you. And also this has a 100% drop chance. Right, the next option we have is Ring of Chaos. This is a trash drop, and the only alternative to this you have is Mind Tier Band, but this is a world boss drop from Terrar, and if you have this, congratulations. If you don't, like, yikes, because this ring has a 0.2% drop chance. Right, for trinkets we have Mind Quickening Gem and Nef Tier. This is going to be best in slot. Obviously, when Mind Quickening Gem is on cooldown, you want to switch between other trinkets like Toip or ZHC. Alright, for weapons, high priority, Sharpened Silited Femur. The main hand is high priority because for the offhand, even if you don't have the Royal Scepter of Veclor, you still have Jindo's Bag of Whammies. So you're still getting that 1% hit from somewhere in the weapon slot. But the only other option you have for the main hand is Claw of Chromagus, which is, as you can see here, it drops DPS by quite a lot, like 10 or 12 DPS loss. And Mage Blade, which the DPS draws is even more significant. So for the weapons, make sure you get the main hand before the offhand if you can, or if you want to. Obviously, if you have a rank 14 weapon, it's basically the same thing. The High Warlord Spellblade basically has just one more intellect than AQ weapon, so I guess it's technically BiS. If you want to look at the two-hand option, you have the Blessed Kiraji Acolyte Staff. This staff will give you 1% crit and 2% hit and only 76 spell power, and that's a huge spell power loss compared to the main hand and offhand combination. Alright, for the wand, very low priority item if you already have Touch of Chaos. As you can see, the Kiraji Nobility is only a 1 DPS increase. So I mean, even if you have something like Bone Creeper Stylus, because remember, you can't use Wand of Biting Cold or Cold Snap because those ones only give you plus frost damage, not spell damage. So if you don't have Touch of Chaos, you would be using Bone Creeper Stylus, and from a Bone Creeper Stylus, the wand is a 4 DPS increase. So I guess that's a bit higher than a low priority, but if you have Touch of Chaos, I wouldn't even get the other wand. Like, this would be the least prioritized item for the whole expansion for me if I had Touch of Chaos. And this DPS calculation over here, I am doing it with rank 12 fireballs in phase 5 in the AQ instance, and I'm using an average fight duration of 80 seconds for both of them, because I think 80 seconds is going to be fair when you're stepping into AQ. And for buffs, for both the specs I'm going to talk about, I am only using elixirs, food buffs, and class buffs and raid buffs. I'm not using world buffs because obviously in AQ we're all going to be dying quite a lot. But if you want to check the DPS out with world buffs and anything here, I'll add the link to both the spreadsheets here in my Discord server. So alright, now let's talk about the other BiS list, and this one's my favorite. This is going to be the BiS list for mages who want to stick to the tier 2 set in phase 5. This is not better than the actual phase 5 BiS list, but this is still a very good set. So you're going to be using obviously the 8 set from tier 2. You're going to be using a few items of the actual BiS list. Now let me just go through those in more detail over here. The actual BiS list has 821 DPS and the tier 2 BiS list has 800 DPS. So you're losing like around 20 DPS, but the tier 2 BiS list is much easier to get. I mean, look at this. First of all, like 70% of the items you'll already have: a helm, shoulder, chest, wrist, hands, waist, legs, feet, one of the rings, 2 trinkets, even some of the ones you don't have, like necklace, small upgrade, back piece, small upgrade, wand, very small upgrade. The only 3 main upgrades you're actually looking for is the Khotun ring, the main hand, and the offhand. I mean, you can just say the ring and the main hand, because even with the Jindo's Bag of Whammies, you're losing like only 8 DPS, so you can get that third, I guess. I would get the ring or the weapon first, and then the offhand, and then whatever's left. And for talents, I am using the Fire spec with Pyroblast, because we'll be using instant cast Pyroblasts here, because obviously of the tier 2 8 set bonus. But for the other set, we are using the regular fire spec, basically no pyroblast. If you want, you can still have the pyroblast spec over here, but it won't make a difference. But if you have the tier 2 set and if you go with just fire, you're actually losing DPS. As you can see here, the DPS went from 800 to 786. So if you're going tier 2 BiS, you want to go pyroblast. And that's basically it. I don't know if I missed anything in this video. If I missed anything in this video, just let me know in the comments so that others can see. Other than that, that's all I have for you. Thank you guys for watching. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button and see you guys in the next video. Also, I want to try out a small social experiment. If you're watching this video from Herod in East, the first person to whisper me this random number I just made up right now, when I come online with Fearstreet, you get 1 free righteous orb. Only for the first person though. Let's see how this works. And a really big thanks to all the patrons who support this channel.